And I think this is very important. A 2021 report by Sheffield Hallam University, the Helena Kennedy Centre for International Justice, entitled In Broad Daylight, identified that the Uyghur forced labour and global solar supply chains concluded that the solar panel industry in China has high exposure to the supply chain compromised by human rights abuses. In other words, child labour, the abuse of people working in those plants, which means that we are buying plant equipment, we're putting it in this part of the, I'm well aware, we're putting it in this part of the United Kingdom, and we're allowing the abuse of people's rights in China to do it. We should not allow China, that now dominates this world in these markets, to dominate our valuable production of...
Order. The honourable gentleman went on for more than 30 seconds. I tolerated it with him because of the issue he was discussing. I won't tolerate it from any other colleagues.
Now, I want to touch on Uyghur blood labour. I make two key points, and I think many others will cover agriculture and biodiversity. But the Sheffield Hallam report that was reported earlier, that was an in-depth investigation into supply chain links between solar and forced labour in Xinjiang. As we know, the primary material for solar panels and modules is polysilicon. 45% of the world's polysilicon is produced in Xinjiang. Now, Mallard Pass Solar Plant is the best example of this. Canadian Solar is a company that is seeking to infiltrate our country with Uyghur blood labour. This is the company proposing to build in Rutland. Despite their name, Canadian Solar is a de facto Chinese company. The vast majority of their production is based in China, and with only 2 small manufacturing facilities in Canada. Their founder, Sean Q, lives in China. Since 2019, they've had a supply contract with a company called GCL Poly. They operate a production facility for solar cells in Jiangsu. But who are GCL Poly? They are one of the 4 largest producers of polysilicon in China. An investigation into GCL determined, and I quote, they actively participate in the resettlement of ethnic Uyghurs from areas of Xinjiang, and they contribute to and implement re-education programs that impose political and military training on resettled populations. They are putting Uyghur people into concentration camps and using them to build solar panels, and I will not see those imposed on Rutland. The US government has already seized 4 shipments from Canadian Solar due to their supply chain links to blood labour and to genocide. And I call on the government to sanction Canadian Solar and their supplier GCL Poly, and absolutely not to allow them to build in Rutland. As a member of the Foreign Affairs Committee and a member of the British public, we do not expect to see blood labour on our soil.